So this was definitely a game that the Pacers had to win at home with no Dame, and the Pacers made a statement. I wasn't sure if I was going to name this video the Pacers put on an offensive massacre or a defensive massacre, because they definitely were dominant on the defensive end, but at first it looked like the Pacers were going to score 150 points, but they definitely cooled down in the second half, but still, nonetheless, they executed and they played well and they got the job done. There were stretches where they showed flawless execution. Not everything was perfect in this game though. The Bucks kind of did make a late surge, but nonetheless, it's the playoffs. I love the Pacers game plan of letting Giannis get his and focusing on shutting down the rest of that team, and a win is a win, so let's break down this game. But first off, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so I have a lot to break down from this game. So many guys made an impact, whether it was on the stat sheet or just impacting the game defensively or making a good hustle play or pass. And the thing that stood out to me is that Tyrese Haliburton had a horrible shooting game from the field, and the Pacers offense was still able to thrive. Siakam had a great game, Turner was solid, Nembhard scored a lot. This is exactly what you want to see if you're a Pacers fan. Starting off with this play right here, this was just great ball movement, a great example of how this game went for the Pacers. First off, McConnell hit Siakam, and then he didn't draw a double, but 2 defenders definitely paid attention to him, so he swung it back to McConnell, who then did a little bit of dribbling. He swung it right back to McConnell up top. At this point, I'm just rambling. They just keep passing the ball back and forth to each other until somebody sees an opportunity, and it's Turner that does. He throws it inside the Nembhard, who draws the foul. Again, this was just one of those plays where on the stat sheet nobody got an assist, but in 2K your letter grade would have went up because it was a pass leading to a foul. I'm sorry, that was so cringy. But yeah, great ball movement, and when you move the ball around like this, great things happen. Next up here in transition, this was a great job of the Pacers making sure to get the ball back to Haliburton because he definitely had the mismatch, and as soon as he got the ball back, he was ready to attack. He didn't need a screen. This was just a one-on-one nightmare for AJ Green. Haliburton was able to get to the rack with ease, and AJ Green's actually an underrated defender. I'm not saying that he can't guard Haliburton, but on this specific play, based on where Haliburton started off with the ball, it was just unfair from the start. Now here's some 1-2 action. Haliburton starts with the ball up top. He sets up the offense. Turner comes up, sets the screen, and he rolls around left. He could have threw this pass, but he does the smart thing and just takes AJ Green one-on-one again and hits the jumper with some shooter's touch. And then this play right here, this is every head coach's dream. Haliburton starts with the ball, Siakam sets the screen and rolls. Haliburton gets caught in the air, which can be dangerous, but he finds Turner in the corner, who's able to drive it in, and then he dumps it off to Mathurin, who drew the foul. Now for some defensive highlights. I loved the way the Pacers defended Giannis all night long. They really made him work to get anything, and on this play specifically, you see the 2 defenders kind of on him, so he has to pass it, and that should have been a steal. In my eyes, that was a really soft call, especially for the playoffs, but it is what it is. You got to be happy with that defensive effort every single time, and it's why they held the Bucks to basically 100 points. Actually, I think they did. At the time of this recording, there's like 1 minute left in the game, and they have 95 points, so I'm pretty sure, unless something crazy happens, they will have held the Bucks to under 100, which is very solid for a playoff game. You will take that every time. Alright, now this right here right before halftime might have been the craziest play of the entire game. It's going to be hard for me to narrate it because so much happened in the span of 24 seconds, but I'm going to try. So, first off, Haliburton gets dumped off the ball. He throws it over to Nembhard, who kind of was open for 3, but he was too far behind the line to pull that. He gets it out to Turner and then cuts back behind the 3-point line, gets the ball back, throws it back to Haliburton, who then drives in, and he gets it to Turner. That should have been a shot, but he fumbles the ball, ends up shooting it, and it hits the corner of the backboard, but it somehow bounces to Mathurin, who's able to get the rebound and put it back up for the bucket right before the buzzer went off. And then for the final play that I want to show you guys, this was great defense into offense. They forced the wild layup, get the rebound. Haliburton takes it in transition. He does a little no-look ball fake and then dumps it corner to Mathurin, who is ready to shoot, and he knocks down a big momentum-changing 3 to give the Pacers a 17-point lead. And at this point in the game, it kind of felt out of reach for the Bucks. We all know they did kind of make a surge in the 4th, but this was one of those big moments in the game where the Pacers just had complete control of the momentum. Now to look at the final numbers from this game, Aaron Nesmith had 7 points in 27 minutes. Tyrese Haliburton almost almost had a triple-double, but he only had 10 points in 34 minutes with 7 rebounds and 12 assists. So overall, not his worst game. Obviously, you want him to be a little more efficient, but he was plus 27, nearly leading the way in plus minus. So I guess you'll take that pretty much every time. You just want him to score about 20 to 25 points, and he's going to. Nembhard played 28 minutes. He had 17, 4 and 5 with 2 steals. He made an impact pretty much everywhere. Myles Turner played 31 big minutes and had 19 points with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He also had 4 big blocks, so he was a key defensively. And then Siakam provided that championship experience, playing 32 minutes, getting 25 points with 7 rebounds and 2 assists. And Siakam provided his championship experience, playing 32 minutes and scoring 25 points with 7 rebounds and 2 assists, and he also had a block and a steal as well. And he was plus 28, leading the team in plus minus, and was an ultra efficient 10 of 15 from the field and 3 of 5 from behind the arc. I also forgot to mention Turner was 4 of 6 from behind the arc, so the bigs shot the ball very well from deep. In terms of the bench, TJ McConnell played 15 minutes. He had 11 points with 2 rebounds and 5 assists. I thought he took great command of the offense when he was the point guard at times. And then Mathurin, he had 13 points with 5 rebounds and was plus 9 and plus minus, but he was 2 of 7 from the field. But he was a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and that is huge in the playoffs. That definitely helps you win games. In terms of what the Pacers did defensively, they held 2 Bucks starters in Kyle Kuzma and Prince to 0 points. Yes, 0. And Rollins only had 5. So between 3 players, there was 5 combined points. That is just nuts. Giannis did have 36 and 12, but I thought the defensive game plan and execution was perfect. Honestly, I probably should title this video Defensive Massacre. I think I'm going to keep it offensive. But nonetheless, the Pacers were great defensively, and they're going to win this series in 4 games if they can continue this. I know it is just 1 game of a 7-game series, and the Bucks may have not played their best, and they still have yet to get Dame back, but now the Bucks have their backs against the wall because they have to win 4 out of their next 6. If they drop another one, all of a sudden, their backs are really against the wall, and that is when teams start pressing. So the Pacers are in a really good spot right now. They definitely need to go out there and do the same thing and execute in game 2, but so far, so good. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below, and here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews.
I need to start with defense. You hold that team to 98 points. It's a topic we've been discussing over the last 2 to 3 weeks, really the last 2 to 3 months. How did you do it?
It's a collective effort. I got to give a lot of individual credits to Pascal Siakam. You know, going out there having to carry load offensively and carry load defensively like that is not easy, and he knows he got his back, and I think he plays his ass off tonight.
You had a 24-point halftime lead. They cut it to, I think, 15 at one point in the third quarter. You scored 9 straight Pacers points. Tell me about that stretch to be able to hold them off a little bit and go into the fourth quarter with still a comfortable lead.
Get in the zone and stay in there, knowing I'm one of the veterans in the team that's been in these situations before. You know, I got a lead, and clock management is so important in the playoffs, and I think we did a good job of doing that down the stretch.
Rick Carlisle said he could not wait to see you walk out that tunnel for game 1 of a playoff series. What was it like, and how did the crowd really spur this team on at the start of this game?
Something special, man. I mean, hitting the first shot, just cap it all off, very serendipitous, man. So I just know I don't take it for granted. I love playing that game, Bitch Straight House, and here's many more.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And until next time, I will see you all later.